let me strike straight at the truth. After 60, your legs are not just aging, they are dying. Quietly, invisibly, every single night. Muscle fibers vanish. Bones lose their density. Nerves misfire. And then one morning, you rise from bed, take that first fragile step across the floor, only to find that the very pillars holding your life together have betrayed you. What does it mean when I say your legs are dying? It means the slow unraveling of independence. Because the truth is brutal. Once the legs go, everything goes. Lose your legs, and you don't just lose your ability to walk. You lose your freedom. You lose your privacy. You lose your dignity. And the most terrifying part, it doesn't take much. Just a 10% loss of muscle strength in your legs is enough to double your risk of death within the next few years. That's not fear-mongering. That's medical data. You think it's harmless to feel a little weaker climbing the stairs? You think those nightly cramps are just normal aging? No, they are silent alarms. Your body is screaming, but you've stopped listening. Imagine this. An older man wakes up, goes to his kitchen to brew coffee. He feels a twitch in his calf, a tightness, but ignores it. By noon, while reaching for something on a shelf, his balance falters. He stumbles, falls, fractures his hip. Now what? A hospital stay, a long recovery in bed, blood clots, pneumonia, and within 1 year, statistics say 30% of patients in his situation are dead. All from one fall, all from weak legs. Now I ask you, how safe are you? How strong are your legs? You might think, I still walk fine, I can get around. But ask yourself this, do you get cramps at night? Do you ever feel your legs heavy, sluggish, hard to lift after sitting too long? Do you wobble when you stand quickly? Have you caught yourself reaching for the wall, the table, the arm of a chair for balance? If the answer is yes to even one of these, then the decay has already begun. Let me be clear, aging itself is not the killer. Deficiency is. Deficiency of the very nutrients your legs depend on. Vitamin D, calcium, B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, vitamin B6. Without them, the pillars crack. Without them, your body starts cannibalizing itself. Muscles weaken, bones crumble, nerves fail, circulation falters. And before you realize it, your legs no longer belong to you. They belong to gravity. And gravity always wins. I don't say this to frighten you for entertainment. I say it because fear is the only thing sharp enough to cut through denial. Denial kills more seniors than disease. People think, I'm just getting old. It's natural. But what if I told you it's not natural at all? What if I told you that the collapse of your legs after 60 is not inevitable, but preventable? That by restoring what your body has lost, you can stop the slow death in its tracks. Let me give you an image you won't forget. Picture 2 funerals, both for people over 60. In one, the man in the coffin had strong legs until the end. He walked, he moved, he fed himself, he laughed with family. He died peacefully, from old age. In the other funeral, the woman in the coffin had been bedridden for the last 5 years. She fractured her hip, never walked again, slowly lost her memory, her independence, her spirit. Which funeral will be yours? The difference, my friend, lies in your legs. More specifically, in the 7 nutrients that fuel them. But before I reveal them, let me press this urgency deeper. Every day you delay, your legs are decaying. Right now, as you sit listening, microscopic changes are underway. Muscle fibers are breaking down faster than they can rebuild. Calcium is leaking out of your bones. Nerve insulation is thinning. Blood circulation is slowing. It's happening silently. You don't see it. You don't feel it. Until the day you fall. And then it's too late. So the real question is not, will this happen? The question is, when? And more importantly, will you be ready? Think of your legs as the foundation of a house. If the foundation weakens, the whole house collapses. And yet most seniors spend more time worrying about wrinkles on their face than strength in their legs. Vanity blinds them, until one day vanity doesn't matter anymore, because they're lying in a hospital bed, dependent on strangers to bathe them. Do you want that? Do you want your children, your grandchildren, to see you as helpless, frail, broken? Or do you want them to see you as strong, steady, someone who can still rise from a chair with authority, someone who can still like a beside them in the park? The answer is in your hands, or rather, in your legs. Let me tell you a secret. The legs are the first to die, but they can also be the first to resurrect. The right fuel, the right habits, can restore them faster than any other part of your body. Why? Because the legs are greedy. They hold the largest muscles. They demand the most blood. They respond quickly to nutrients and movement. Feed them right, and they rise. Ignore them, and they drag the rest of you down. I want you to hold on to one phrase as we move forward. Your body remembers. Even after decades of neglect, even after years of weakness, your body remembers what strength feels like. The question is, will you remind it, or will you let it forget forever? Now let's not sugarcoat this. Supplements alone won't save you. Exercise alone won't save you. Sunshine alone won't save you. It's the synergy, the orchestra of nutrients working together, that revives the legs. Without that orchestra, the music of your mobility dies. So here is what we're going to do. Across this video, I will guide you through the 7 most powerful nutrients that stand between you and collapse. I will show you what happens when you lack them. I will show you what happens when you restore them. And most importantly, I will give you a tool, a single, simple, 10-second test that can predict whether you will be walking independently 10 years from now, or lying in a nursing home. But first, you need to understand this. Most of you listening right now are already deficient. Yes, you. If you are over 60, if you spend most of your time indoors, if you take medications, if your diet is not carefully planned, you are deficient. And deficiency doesn't knock politely. It sneaks. It strangles quietly, until it becomes visible in one brutal moment, a fall. So here's my warning. If you walk away from this message now, you walk away blind. You walk away thinking you still have time. But the truth is, you don't know how much time is left before the collapse. Now let me plant the first seed of fear and of hope. Vitamin D, the most overlooked, the most underestimated nutrient in seniors. The sun vitamin. Without it, your legs wither, your balance fades, your bones snap like chalk. With it, you rise again. Which side of that line are you on? Because in the next section, I will take you deep into vitamin D, the cornerstone of leg survival. And I promise you this, what you learn may shock you enough to change how you live tomorrow morning. But we haven't even started yet. The most terrifying truth is still ahead. Because when I reveal what vitamin D deficiency is already doing inside your body right now, you'll never look at the sunlight the same way again. Stay with me. Your life may depend on it. If you are still with me now, it means one thing. Somewhere deep inside, you know the danger is real. You've felt the weakness in your legs. You've woken up at night with cramps twisting your muscles like a vice. You've struggled to stand from a chair, surprised at how heavy your body suddenly feels. And you are afraid. Afraid that one fall, one slip, one fracture could change your life forever. And you are right to be afraid. But fear without hope is useless. That is why I will make you a promise. Not a vague promise, not a gentle encouragement, but a life-saving promise. At the end of this video, I will give you a test. Just 10 seconds. No equipment, no doctor's office. You can do it right in your living room. And that test can predict with shocking accuracy whether you will remain independent for the next decade, or whether you are already on the path to collapse. 10 seconds to see your future. 10 seconds to measure the strength left in your legs, the power left in your body, the years left in your independence. But I will not give you the test now. Why? Because you are not ready. If I told you right now, you would perform it without understanding the meaning. You might pass and feel falsely safe. You might fail and feel hopeless. You need to know why it matters before you attempt it. You need to know what your legs are truly telling you. That is why you must stay. Because only when you understand the invisible war inside your muscles and bones will that 10-second test become a revelation, a mirror reflecting your true future. Let me make it personal. If you are over 60, this is not just information. This is your lifeline. I don't care if you are 61 or 89. I don't care if you still walk 2 miles a day or if you already use a cane. The clock is ticking on your legs, and the only way to slow it down is to understand what they are starving for. Think of your legs as a bank account. Every movement you make is a withdrawal. Every stair you climb, every step you take, every night you toss in bed, and your muscles twitch. It all drains your account. And after 60, your deposits shrink. Your body no longer produces or absorbs nutrients the way it once did. The bank is drying up. But here is the miracle. If you know the right currency, 7 specific nutrients, you can still refill the account. You can keep your balance high. You can prevent bankruptcy. I have seen it myself. I've seen patients in their 70s, weak, frail, trembling, who turned their lives around by restoring what their legs had been missing. They walked again. They danced again. They lived again. I remember one patient, a woman in her mid-70s, who came to me after falling twice in her kitchen. She said, "Doctor, I'm scared to even walk to the bathroom at night." Her legs shook. Her balance was poor. Her fear was crushing her spirit. We tested her. She was severely deficient in vitamin D. Her muscles were starving for it. We restored it. Within months, she walked with confidence again. She never fell again. She told me, with tears in her eyes, "You gave me my legs back. You gave me my freedom." That is why I promise you, what you are about to learn is not theory. It is life and death. But you must make me a promise in return. Promise me that you will not leave this video halfway. Promise me you will not tell yourself, "I'll come back later." No, because later might not come. The longer you wait, the weaker your legs become. Every day you hesitate is another day stolen from your future. So here is our pact. I will show you the science, the stories, the proof, and in the end, I will give you the 10-second test. And when you take it, you will finalize without denial, without illusion, whether you are safe or whether you are in danger. But we have not yet begun. Because before you take the test, you must understand the first nutrient, the foundation of all leg strength, the sunlight in your veins. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is not just a vitamin. It is a hormone, a messenger, a commander. Without it, your muscles forget how to contract. Your bones forget how to absorb calcium. Your nerves forget how to fire signals. Without vitamin D, your legs forget how to be legs. And the tragedy? Almost every senior is deficient. Why? Because as you age, your skin loses its ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight. Because you spend less time outdoors, afraid of falling, or told to avoid the sun for fear of cancer. Because the very medications you take for other conditions deplete your levels further. So while you sit in your chair thinking you are safe, your legs are being robbed. Quietly, relentlessly, until one day they betray you. I ask you this: when was the last time you had your vitamin D levels checked? Do you even know the number? Or are you walking blindly, hoping for the best? You see, this is why the 10-second test matters. Because it exposes what you cannot see in blood work alone. It shows how your body performs, how your legs respond, how much time you really have left. But I am getting ahead of myself. First, you need to hear the full story of vitamin D, what it does, what happens without it, and how to restore it. Because when you understand the truth of vitamin D, you will never look at your legs or the sunlight the same way again. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. In the next section, I will reveal how vitamin D deficiency eats away at your muscles and bones, silently preparing you for collapse. And once you see the science, you will realize this is not just about weakness, it's about survival. Stay with me, because the story of vitamin D may shock you into action. Let me step out from the shadows for a moment. My name is Dr. Hino. I am 102 years old, and for more than 70 years I have studied the aging body, not in theory, but in practice. I have treated patients in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I have seen men and women stand tall into their 90s. I have seen others collapse into wheelchairs in their early 60s. And the difference, almost always, was not luck. It was knowledge. When I speak to you now, I do not speak as a man untouched by age. I feel it too. My hands tremble. My skin is thin. But my legs, they still carry me. Because I learned long ago that the legs are not just limbs. They are memory. They are the body's final archive of strength. You may be sitting now, listening with your eyes closed. Maybe lying in bed, phone in your hand, earbuds in your ears. And even as you drift in and out of attention, your body is listening. Your body remembers. It remembers the long walks of your youth, the climbs, the running, the dancing. And it also remembers the neglect, the years spent sitting too long, the meals stripped of nutrients, the medications that robbed you quietly. That memory lives in your legs, and every signal your nerves send down the spinal cord, every contraction of your muscles, every pulse of blood, it all tells the story of how well you have cared for them, or how badly you have abandoned them. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine two paths. On the first path, you wake tomorrow morning, and your legs obey you. You rise without fear. You walk without trembling. You feel steady. You step outside, into the light, and the air fills your chest. That is a path of freedom. On the second path, you wake tomorrow morning, and when you try to rise, your legs resist. They feel heavy, unreliable. You wobble. You grab the chair for support. And with every day that follows, the fear grows. You stop walking far. You stop going outside. You stop trusting yourself. That is a path of collapse. Which path are you on? Which path will you choose? I tell you this because I have seen both. thousands of times, and each time, the story haunts me. There was a man, 78 years old, strong his whole life. He told me, "Doctor, I feel fine." 3 months later, he fell in his garden, a hip fracture. He never walked again. He died within a year. Then there was a woman, 81, frail and trembling. But she listened. She restored her nutrients. She trained her legs daily. When I saw her at 89, she was still walking, still laughing. She said to me, "Doctor, I am still here." The difference? Knowledge, action, courage. Do not think you are safe because you have made it this far. Every day after 60 is a test, and the exam is brutal. I want you to feel the weight of this truth. Your legs are not aging by chance. They are recording every decision you make. They remember the sunlight you avoided. They remember the protein you skipped. They remember the nights you sat in the glow of a television instead of moving. But here is the good news. Your legs can also remember healing. They can remember nutrients. They can remember motion. They can remember strength. But only if you act now. Let me confess something. Even as a doctor, I once ignored this truth. In my 40s, I worked long hours, barely moved, ate whatever was quick. One evening, I tried to rise from my desk and felt my legs buckle. They were weak. My own legs, at 40. I realized then, if I continued, by 60, I would be gone. That was the day I began my study. 70 years later, I stand before you not as a miracle, but as a messenger. Because you can do the same. You can turn back the decline. But not by chance, not by waiting, not by denial. Only by understanding the 7 nutrients your legs are begging for. And yet, knowledge alone is not enough. Because the mind resists. The mind says, "I am fine, not me. I will be the exception." That is the most dangerous lie of aging. I will be the exception. So I will not only give you the science, I will give you stories. Real people. Because stories are the mirrors in which we see ourselves. There is one story in particular that I have carried with me for decades. 2 patients, almost the same age, almost the same condition. One lived, one fell, and the difference still chills me to this day. But before I tell you that story, I want you to take a deep breath, because once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. You will be forced to choose which one you are. In the next section, I will tell you the story that still haunts me. 2 lives, 2 choices, 2 endings. Evelyn, who rose again. Harold, who never walked again. And as you listen, you will have to answer, which one will you be? Let me tell you about 2 people. They were almost the same age. They lived in the same city. They even had the same doctor, me. But their lives ended in 2 completely different ways. And when you hear their stories, you will be forced to ask yourself, which one am I becoming? The first was Evelyn. She was 72 when she first came to me. A small woman, gentle voice, white hair pinned neatly back. She told me, "Doctor, I'm starting to feel my legs give out. I can still walk, but when I get up from a chair, it feels heavier than it should. Sometimes at night, I wake up with cramps in my calves." Her eyes carried fear, not because of pain, but because she lived alone. She said, "If I fall, no one will find me." Then there was Harold. He was 74 when I met him, taller, broader, proud. He had been an engineer, and he carried himself like a man who believed he was still in control. When I asked about his legs, he laughed. "Doctor, I'm fine. I still mow my lawn. I don't need all these pills and supplements. I'm strong. 2 people. 2 warnings. 2 paths. I ordered blood tests for both. The results were clear. Evelyn was deficient in vitamin D, borderline low in calcium, low in B12. Harold, almost the same. Vitamin D low, calcium weak, B12 slipping, the same deficiencies, the same danger. I told them both, you must act now. Your legs are starving. Without correction, you are heading toward collapse. Evelyn listened. She changed her diet. She took supplements. She walked outside in the morning sun. She practiced simple leg exercises. It was not easy, but she was consistent. Harold dismissed me. I've lived this long without it, he said. I don't need to start now. I feel fine. He ignored the prescriptions. He ignored the advice. He ignored the warnings. For the first year, both seemed the same. Evelyn felt a little stronger, a little steadier. Harold still seemed fine. He even teased Evelyn when they met for checkups. You're wasting your time with all those pills, he joked. But the second year, everything changed. Evelyn's muscle strength improved. She no longer had nightly cramps. She could stand from a chair without pushing off with her arms. She started walking with her granddaughter in the park again. She smiled more. She said to me, "Doctor, I feel like I have my life back." Harold, meanwhile, began to stumble. The first time was small, tripping on the curb outside his house. He laughed it off. "Clumsy," he said. The second time, he slipped in his kitchen. He bruised his hip. Still, he refused to change. "Just bad luck," he told me. The third time was the last. He was reaching for a book on a high shelf. His legs did not respond quickly enough. He fell sideways hard onto the floor. A fractured hip, surgery, complications, bed rest. Within 6 months, Harold was in a nursing facility. Within a year, he was gone. 2 people, same deficiencies, same warnings, different choices, different endings. I carry these 2 stories with me because they reveal the brutal truth. The difference between walking with freedom at 70 and dying broken at 74 is not fate. It is choice. It is action. It is the courage to face reality before it is too late. Now I ask you, are you Evelyn or are you Harold? Don't answer too quickly, because denial whispers louder than fear. Denial tells you, "I'm fine." Denial tells you, "I'll change later." Denial tells you, "Not me." That's exactly what Harold said. And Harold is dead. The truth is, most of you listening right now are closer to Harold than to Evelyn. You ignore the cramps. You dismiss the weakness. You don't check your vitamin D. You don't think about B12. And you believe somehow you will be the exception. But listen to me carefully. There are no exceptions. Without these nutrients, your legs will betray you. It is not a question of if. It is a question of when. That is why this story matters. Because you are living it already. Maybe you are Evelyn, who listens. Maybe you are Harold, who ignores. But the fork in the road is here, right now, in this moment. So what will you do? I will tell you what Evelyn did next. She didn't just take the nutrients. She learned the science. She wanted to know what each vitamin was doing inside her body, why it mattered, how it kept her alive. She told me, "Doctor, when I understand, I obey." And that is what you need next. Not just a warning, but understanding. Because knowledge is the weapon that cuts through denial. You need to know the science. The hidden biology that explains why your legs weaken, why your bones crumble, why your nerves misfire. You need to see the invisible war happening inside your own body. Only then will you grasp the urgency. Evelyn lived because she understood. Harold died because he refused. Which one will you be? In the next section, I will rip the mask off the science. I will show you the hidden mechanisms, how vitamin D, calcium, B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, and B6 work together to keep your legs alive. And once you see it, you will never dismiss a cramp or stumble again. Stay with me, because the science will shock you more than the story. Science is not cold numbers on a page. Science is the hidden story your body has been whispering all along. And when we rip the mask off, what we see is terrifying. Your legs are not weak because of age alone. They are weak because something inside has been stolen, piece by piece, nutrient by nutrient. Let's begin with vitamin D. Imagine a key, a simple shine key. Shining key. That key unlocks the door that lets calcium into your bones. Without it, calcium piles up outside, confused, misplaced, useless. Without that key, your bones are like a house built of sand, ready to crumble at the first shake. And vitamin D is not just about bones. Think of your muscles as machines. They need a switch to turn on. Vitamin D is that switch. Without it, the machines hesitate, stall, fail. That is why people deficient in vitamin D move slower, stumble more, fall more often. Now picture calcium itself. Calcium is not just the bricks in your bones. It is the spark that makes your muscles contract. Every step you take, every lift, every rise from a chair, calcium floods your muscle fibers, telling them, move. Without enough calcium, the signal falters. Your muscles cramp, spasm, grow weak. You cannot rise. You cannot hold steady. Your body collapses. Next, vitamin B12. Imagine your nerves as electrical wires, stretching from your brain down to your legs. To carry the current, those wires must be coated in insulation. B12 is that insulation. Without it, the wires fray. The current sparks. The signals misfire. What happens then? Your legs feel heavy, numb, clumsy. You stumble. You lose coordination. Your brain shouts, move, but your legs cannot hear. Now magnesium. Think of an orchestra. Every muscle fiber is an instrument. Magnesium is the conductor. Without it, the instruments play out of tune. Spasms, stiffness, restless legs that twitch and ache through the night. Magnesium also tells calcium where to go. Without magnesium, calcium goes rogue, hardening arteries instead of strengthening bones. The conductor leaves, and the symphony collapses into chaos. Then potassium. Imagine the inside and outside of your muscle cells as two oceans, separated by a fragile shore. Potassium balances those oceans. Without it, the waves crash in and out unpredictably. Muscles seize into painful cramps or tremble like a leaf. Potassium also neutralizes acids that erode bones. Without it, bones dissolve faster. Legs weaken sooner. And vitamin K. Picture a traffic controller. Calcium is traffic. Without guidance, cars crash in the wrong places. Arteries harden, joints stiffen, circulation slows. Vitamin K directs calcium into the bones, where it belongs. It prevents the nightmare of brittle bones combined with hardened arteries. Without vitamin K, your body builds tombstones instead of skeletons. Finally, vitamin B6. Imagine your muscles as workers in a factory. They need energy, oxygen, instructions. B6 writes the instructions. It keeps nerves firing, muscles repairing, red blood cells delivering oxygen. Without B6, The workers grow confused. Movements become sloppy. Fatigue arrives too soon. Even short walks feel exhausting. Do you see the pattern? Each nutrient is not optional. Each one is a role in a play. Remove even one actor, and the story falls apart. Remove vitamin D, the key, and calcium cannot enter the bones. Remove B12, the insulation, and nerves misfire. Remove magnesium, the conductor, and the orchestra collapses. Remove vitamin K, the traffic controller, and calcium chokes your arteries instead of fortifying your bones. This is not maybe. This is inevitable. It is biology. Now let me ask you directly. When was the last time you climbed a flight of stairs without breathlessness? When was the last time you rose from a chair without pushing with your arms? When was the last time you walked without holding on to something? Those moments are not just signs of age. They are signs of deficiency. They are signs your orchestra has lost its conductor. Your wires have lost insulation. Your house has lost its key. And yet most people ignore them. They think, I'm just slowing down. But science says otherwise. Science says, you are starving. Let me show you another image. Picture a bridge. A strong steel bridge across a river. Every day, cars drive across. Steps, movements, life. But rust has begun to eat at the steel beams. Tiny flakes at first. Invisible. And then one day, under the weight of a single truck, the bridge snaps. That is your legs. The rust is deficiency. The collapse is inevitable if you do nothing. But here is the hope. Rust can be stopped. Steel can be reinforced. Bridges can be rebuilt. Your legs can too. Science shows us this. Restore vitamin D. Muscle fibers strengthen. Restore calcium. Bones harden. Restore B12. Nerves fire again. Restore magnesium. Cramps disappear. Restore potassium. Balance returns. Restore vitamin K. Calcium flows into bones instead of arteries. Restore B6. Energy surges back. This is not a miracle. This is not superstition. This is chemistry. But knowing the science is not enough, because there are forces working against you, forces you cannot see. Medications that strip B12 from your body, sedentary habits that rob your magnesium, diets of processed food that leave you potassium poor. These are the invisible thieves, and unless you confront them, even the best nutrients cannot save you. In the next section, I will expose the invisible thieves, hidden in your medicine cabinet, your diet, your lifestyle, that are quietly stealing your strength every single day. You may think you're safe, but the truth is far darker. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at every pill, every meal, every habit. Let me tell you something cruel. It is not only age and deficiency that weaken your legs. There are thieves, silent, invisible thieves, that break into your body every single day, stealing your strength, draining your power, without you even realizing it. And the worst part? You invite them in, yes. The thief is in your medicine cabinet. The thief is on your dinner plate. The thief is in your living room chair. The thief is in the very culture that surrounds you. And unless you identify them, they will rob you until nothing is left. Let's start with medications. Do you take acid reflux pills? Those little tablets called proton pump inhibitors, the ones that keep your heartburn quiet. They rob you of vitamin B12. Slowly, silently, they strip away your nerve insulation. 1 year, 2 years, 10 years later, your legs feel heavy, numb, clumsy. You blame age, but it was the pill. Do you take diuretics, water pills, for blood pressure? They flush magnesium and potassium right out of your system. You think you're controlling your pressure, but at night your legs cramp, your muscles seize, your heart stutters. You think it's coincidence. No, it's theft. Even common blood thinners, antibiotics, cholesterol drugs, they all interact, all deplete. Each pill solves one problem while creating another. And seniors in America often take 5, 10, even 15 pills a day. A cocktail of invisible thieves. But medicine is not the only thief. Food is another. Walk into any American supermarket, and what do you see? Shelves of processed meals, microwave dinners, instant noodles, boxes of crackers, cans of soda. Do you know what they all share? Low magnesium, low potassium, low B vitamins, high salt, high sugar, high empty calories. They fill your stomach, but starve your legs. Think about the TV dinners many seniors rely on. Salty, soft, easy to heat, easy to chew. But what's missing? The dense green of spinach, the strength of salmon, the richness of beans, the fire of sunlight in mushrooms. Without them, the legs are unfed, unfueled, unprepared. And then there is lifestyle, the endless sitting, the chair that becomes your prison. Hours in front of a television, hours in a recliner, hours at the table. Your legs are built to move. They are pumps, designed to push blood back to the heart. When you sit, they shut down. Circulation slows. Muscles waste. Nerves dull. And after years, they forget how to stand at all. Let's not forget loneliness. It may not sound biological, but it is. Studies show that isolation in seniors leads to lower activity, worse diet, weaker immunity, higher inflammation. You eat alone, you move less, you withdraw. Your legs pay the price. The thief of loneliness drains motivation, drains movement, drains life. And perhaps the cruelest thief of all, denial. The voice inside that says, I'm fine. The voice that whispers, it's just old age. That voice steals time. It tells you to wait until tomorrow. But tomorrow, the legs are weaker. Tomorrow, the bank account is emptier. Tomorrow, the bridge rusts further. And one tomorrow, there is no tomorrow. I remember one patient, Margaret. She was 79. She loved fast food. She told me, Doctor, it's cheap, it's easy. I can drive through and eat in the car. Burgers, fries, soda, 3 times a week. She also took acid reflux pills, diuretics, antidepressants. She told me she was fine. Until one night, her legs cramped so violently she fell from bed. She broke her femur. She never walked again. The invisible thieves had robbed her completely. Contrast that with another patient, Arthur. He also took multiple medications, but he listened. He adjusted. He added back magnesium, potassium, B12. He swapped fast food for beans and greens. He walked daily, even if only for 10 minutes. At 86, he still walked his dog every morning. The thieves came for him, but he fought them off. This is the truth. You cannot avoid the thieves. But you can defend yourself. You can lock the doors. You can replenish what they steal. You can move enough to deny them their power. And the first step is awareness. Awareness that every pill you swallow may cost you something. Awareness that every meal of processed food is another withdrawal from your account. Awareness that every hour sitting still is another muscle fiber gone. Now ask yourself, which thieves are in your life? Look at your pills. Look at your meals. Look at your chair. Which thief has been stealing from you all along? Because here is the good news. Once you see them, you can fight them. And the weapons are not far. They are in your kitchen. They are in your garden. They are in your routine. And they are powerful enough to turn the tide. In the next section, I will arm you with the weapons. I will show you exactly how to rebuild your legs through food, sunlight, and simple daily habits that can start tomorrow morning. You will see that the fight is not lost. The thieves are strong, but the solutions are stronger. Stay with me, because the kitchen and the garden may save your life. Fear without a weapon is despair, and despair kills. So now I will arm you. I will place in your hands the very tools that can defend your legs, your independence, your life. The thieves are real. The deficiencies are deadly. But the solutions, thank God, are simple, powerful, and within your reach. Not in an expensive pill, not in a hospital machine. In your kitchen, in your garden, in the rhythm of your daily life. Let's begin with food. Every bite you take can be poison, or it can be medicine. Vitamin D, step outside in the morning. 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight on your arms and legs, not behind glass, not at noon when the sun burns. Morning light, the gentle kind. It triggers your skin to produce vitamin D, the key to muscle and bone. If you cannot go outside, then eat your sunlight. Salmon, sardines, egg yolks, mushrooms. And yes, a supplement if your doctor agrees. 800 to 1,000 IU a day. Think of it as recharging the battery in your legs. Calcium, not just milk. Yes, milk, yogurt, cheese, but also kale, bok choy, almonds, tofu, sardines with bones. Variety matters. Your bones are greedy. They crave steady deposits, not one big payment. Spread your calcium across the day. And remember, without vitamin D, calcium is wasted. Together, they build the fortress. Vitamin B12. This one is almost always low in seniors. Why? Because your stomach produces less acid with age, and without acid, you cannot extract B12 from food. That means numb legs, clumsy feet, fading balance. The best foods? Clams, liver, salmon, eggs. If you cannot absorb them, supplements or injections. Do not wait, because once nerves die, they rarely return. Magnesium, the conductor of your muscles. Nuts, seeds, leafy greens. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, avocados. Eat them daily. Magnesium also helps you sleep, calms restless legs, prevents midnight cramps. Without it, the night is your enemy. With it, the night is your recovery. Potassium. Think beyond bananas. Sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, avocados, oranges, baked potatoes with skin. Potassium keeps your muscles firing smoothly, your bones less acidic, your heart steady. If you feel cramps, tremors, or weakness after standing, think potassium. Vitamin K, the traffic controller. Leafy greens are your allies. Spinach, kale, collard greens, Brussels sprouts. And if you can, fermented foods like natto, aged cheeses, liver. K2 especially directs calcium into bones instead of arteries. Without it, your legs weaken while your blood vessels harden. Vitamin B6, the instruction manual for your muscles. Poultry, tuna, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas. With B6, your muscles repair. Your red blood cells carry oxygen. Your fatigue lifts. Without it, you tire after short walks. Your legs feel heavy with every step. Now let's move beyond the kitchen. Food is fuel, but movement is memory. Your legs remember what they are asked to do. If you ask nothing, they forget everything. Start simple. Chair rises. Sit in a sturdy chair. Cross your arms over your chest. Stand up. Sit down. Repeat slowly, 5 times. This is not just exercise. It is a prediction of your future. If you cannot rise 5 times without pushing with your arms, your risk of death in the next decade is doubled. Yes, doubled. Practice it daily. Strengthen the very motion that predicts survival. Rhythm walking. Walk not just aimlessly, but with rhythm. Step to music. Step to your breath. This trains your legs and your brain together. Balance improves. Coordination sharpens. Falls retreat. Just 10 minutes a day. Heel raises. Stand behind a chair. Hold lightly. Rise onto your toes, then back down. Do it 20 times. This strengthens calves, the second heart, that pumps blood back to your brain. Strong calves mean steady balance, clear thinking, fewer dizzy spells. Stretching. Do not neglect it. Tight muscles are brittle muscles. Stretch your calves, your hamstrings, your quads. Loosen the prison around your bones. And above all, consistency. Do not wait for a gym. Do not wait for motivation. Begin today. Begin with 1 chair rise. Begin with 1 walk to the mailbox. Begin with 1 handful of spinach. Begin with 1 glass of sunlight. I know what you're thinking. Is it too late for me? Let me answer. No, it is not too late. Your body remembers. Even after years of neglect, even after decades of weakness, your body remembers strength. And with the right nutrients and habits, it can remember faster than you believe. I have seen patients in their 80s reverse weakness in months. I have seen women who could barely rise from a chair regain the ability to walk to church, to dance at weddings, to play with grandchildren. I have seen men who thought their legs were finished climb stairs again. But there is a line, a point of no return. Cross it, and the body does not come back. That is why you must act before that line. You must build your fortress now, not after it has crumbled. Because in the next section, I will show you what happens when that line is crossed. I will tell you the story of Robert, 83, who waited too long. And I will give you the secret test, the 10 seconds that predict your next 10 years. The solutions are here. The weapons are in your hands. But there is a riddle left unsolved, the point of no return. In the next section, I will reveal the final climax, the heartbreaking case of Robert, and the 10-second test that may determine your destiny. Do not miss it. Because once you hear it, you will never look at your legs or your future the same way again. There is one story I have held until now, because it is not easy to tell. It is not easy to hear. But it may be the story that saves you. Robert was 83, a proud man, a retired teacher, father of 3, grandfather of 7. He came to me years earlier, complaining of leg cramps and weakness. I told him what I've told you. Vitamin D, calcium, B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, B6. I told him to strengthen his legs, to feed them, to move them. But Robert waved me off. Doctor, I've lived this long. I'll be fine. For a while he was. He still drove to the store, still walked around the block. But then, slowly, the invisible thieves took more. His muscles shrank. His balance faltered. His nerves misfired. One morning, while getting out of bed, his legs gave out completely. He fell. His hip shattered. Surgery followed, then weeks of bed rest, blood clots, infections, weakness spreading like a shadow through his body. He never walked again. Within a year, Robert was gone. Not from old age, but from neglect, from weak legs. This is the point of no return. When the legs collapse, the cascade begins. Independence is lost. Spirit is lost. Life is lost. And it can happen faster than you believe. That is why you must know the truth now. Before you cross that line, I promised you a test. A simple 10-second test that predicts your future. Here it is. Stand up from a chair. Arms crossed over your chest. Feet flat on the floor. Now, time yourself. How long does it take you to rise to standing and sit back down 5 times? If you can do it in under 10 seconds, you are likely safe. Your legs are still strong enough to carry you into the next decade. If it takes you more than 15 seconds, your risk of losing independence in the next 10 years skyrockets. If you cannot do it at all, your legs are already at the brink. This is not my opinion. This is research. Thousands of seniors tested. Their times predicted their outcomes with shocking accuracy. So take the test. Take it today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. And if you fail, do not despair. It is a warning, not a sentence. The nutrients, the movement, the habits I have given you, they are your weapons. Use them now, because every day you delay, your legs forget more. Every day you act, your legs remember. Remember this phrase, your body remembers. Even if you fail today, your body can remember strength again. But only if you act before the point of no return. So what have we learned? That your legs are dying without 7 nutrients. That vitamin D is the key, calcium the brick, B12 the insulation, magnesium the conductor, potassium the balancer, vitamin K the traffic controller, B6 the instruction manual. That without them, your legs betray you. That invisible thieves, medications, processed food, sitting, loneliness, denial, steal your strength daily. That solutions are simple. Sunlight, greens, beans, fish, eggs, nuts, movement, rhythm, consistency. That you have weapons, but you must use them. And finally, that 10-second test, a mirror of your future. 10 seconds that can reveal the next 10 years. I ask you now, will you take the test? Will you face the truth? Or will you turn away, like Harold, like Robert, and let your legs decide your fate? Because here is the final warning. You cannot cheat biology. You cannot ignore it into silence. You can only act, or collapse. But there is hope. There is always hope, because your body remembers, and it is waiting for you to remind it. So here is my call to you. Share this message with someone you love over 60, a spouse, a friend, a parent, a neighbor. Because one fall, one fracture, one deficiency could end their story too soon, and knowledge could save them. Subscribe. Stay with me. Because this is not the last threat I will reveal. In the next video, I will show you the hidden nighttime habit that starves your brain of oxygen, an invisible killer in your own bedroom. If you thought your legs were at risk, wait until you hear this. The body remembers. The question is, what will it remember in you? Strength or collapse? The choice is yours. But time is short. Your legs are speaking. Don't ignore them. Take the test. Share the video. Subscribe, because the next truth may save your life. Your body remembers. Will you?